like they're dead to me. Favorite drink or those Bears, Hawks, Sox, Bulls. Say goodbye a little longer like I ate a piece of Big Red.
Mike North, you can hear him every Sunday night at 9 o'clock right here. You can watch his daily 30 and 5 video commentaries at 560WIND.com. This is brought to you in part by Altoff Industries, residential heating and cooling at 800-225-2443. Did I get it all in there, Mike?
Got it all in, guys. How we feeling today? How you doing? Everybody ready to roll? New week, a short week.
Yeah, we like that.
We likes it.
Let's talk about Lance Briggs. It just won't go away. But do you think this trade request phases his teammates at all?
No, I don't think it does, and I think there's more than meets the eye here. Lance Briggs, of course, the guy who a few years back during the inclement months was smashing Lamborghinis up, so I can see where he's struggling financially when he goes out and buys a car, and he has other personal issues that a lot of us don't have. He's got money's going out, and he needs more money coming in. It doesn't surprise me. He's been as good as Urlacher, but the timing's wrong, as we saw with Ozzie Guillen earlier this week. And you know what? I think Bear fans are saying, quite frankly, if you don't play out your contract with the Chicago Bears, you sign something, they've been good to you, guess what? See you later.
Wow. So
is Hunter still available? Can we bring him back?
No, he had a concussion 3 years ago, which means he's ineligible to ever do anything again with the concussion rules in this country now. He cannot play football no longer. It's a shame. Hunter Hillenmeyer was a good player. Lance Briggs is a Pro Bowler, John, but you know what? There's a time, and timing's everything, and there's a time you just step back with the economics in this country going on, with people out of work, to have a guy under contract playing for a prominent team in a big city like this to demand more money when he's under contract is ill-advised at best.
Do you know, I was reading this, I can't remember the author's name, but the book is Da Bears. It's about the 85 Bears.
That was written by me, John. It's 2 pages, and it's got one picture in it.
And it's all in capital. Da and Bears.
Anyway, They talked about, look, when you come to Chicago, back then,
right.
But any time since then, if you can get acclimated to the city and ingratiate yourself with the fans, you can write your own check. In other words, you should be able to make as much on the outside of your primary job in athletics here as you would from the team, and it's foolish to essentially poison that well, and I think that Briggs is doing that.
Ditka's still making money in this town. The Fridge still comes in and makes money. You have guys that played on the Chicago. Tom Waddle played in the 90s, making a good living. Doug Buffone started in 1966, still is on the air. You're absolutely right. If you're a Chicago Bear, Norm Van Leer, who was a former Bull, once told me the worst thing he ever did after his playing career was he went to Seattle, went out to the Washington area for a couple of years where nobody knew him, instead of cultivating his brand. And that's what some players don't understand. You have an individual brand that you can market. You see it all the time. Michael Vick has signed a $100 million contract, but guess what? He's going to get 30 guaranteed. But how about the endorsement money he might eventually get, especially if you win? Lance Briggs has been the product not only good for the Bears, but the Bears have been good for Lance Briggs. He's been to 6 Pro Bowls. He's done a great job, but they've also been to the playoffs, and they've put him on the stage.
He should be able to make all the money on the outside that he thinks he needs.
Agreed.
And I would like to hear more, and maybe I'll listen to your show on, or maybe you can put this up at the website, too.
That'd be good.
I would like to know all of the personal issues that he has, because that piqued my interest. We kind of glossed over that.
You know what? He's had arrests, and he's had. I do know this. I don't want to speak out of school, but he's not.
Well,
he doesn't
never
have.
Stopped you before.
I would. No. Okay. He's not a traditional family man.
No.
How about that? Absolutely
on.
not a
Hold
traditional
on a second.
family. Doesn't
Are
have
you
the one.
saying a pro athlete is involved with somebody other than the traditional American family?
I'm not going to step out that way because I haven't heard anything about any pro athletes. No, you know what I'm saying.
I know.
These guys have a lifestyle. They have nothing. Then all of a sudden they have everything. That's why you have a guy that gets in a car accident years ago, and he's not around the accident, running, if you remember.
Do you know
should be a spokesman for that car.
The guy...
there you go. Good night, everybody.
The man we met at our golf tournament last year, during his remarks, and he is the chaplain for the Bears. Ray, I forgot his name, but his last name, I apologize for that, has a great foundation. But he pointed out during his speech that almost 80% of former NFL players go broke within 3 years of their retirement.
3 to 4 to 5 years, all of them, 75 to 80%. It boggles the mind.
Declare bankruptcy.
These guys could have the greatest life on earth. They start out digging a hole for themselves from the first contract on. The responsible guys, you'll see them on TV doing something on television, maybe segments on radio where they're just, doing something to keep themselves busy while they have millions in the bank. It's how you handle your money. That's why the NFL has symposiums. I've never said that word before. Symposiums him telling rookies how to do it. Now, this year, it was scattered, though, so I'm anxious to see what happens with these guys. But I thought that's what college was supposed to prepare you for. I never knew you still have to go to the place of work. Can you imagine going to IBM and you got a degree at Notre Dame, and then they still got to sit you down and you got to go to meetings for 2 weeks to explain how to handle your money?
That's crazy.
Think about that. You're going to college, and then on top of that, you got to go, now I went to college for 4 years, but I don't know how to handle my money. Can you guys show me? And I don't want to get in trouble because I came from a family with one parent.
Well, you know who's handling himself is the ex-Bears quarterback, Rex Grossman. He's got the starting spot. It's the Redskins.
Yeah, and you know what? Rex Grossman, I mean, he's an underdog at home, but so are the Chicago Bears. Both teams, Bears underdogs, Atlanta, Washington an underdog, but Rex Grossman has an offensive line. I actually saw Rex Grossman for the first time, I'm not kidding, with time to pass. I mean, and you know, when you have time to pass, you're still going to make some mistakes.
He's still short and with small hands.
Yes, he is,
Mike, we have to go.
All right, John, you take good care of yourself.
Thank you. Mike North, Sunday nights at 9 on WIND.
Flood Brothers Disposal and Recycling Services are professional waste haulers. Now, the Flood family is big on service. It's our #1 priority, and we offer extremely competitive pricing because the Flood family is here to help you in this tough economy. Remember, at Flood Brothers, we build relationships, and the only thing we're big on is service. Call us at 773-626-5800 or floodbrothersdisposal.com.